Welcome to Cherryblossom Yoga. I'm Robin Dinerman. This is a half-hour Hatha Yoga class for beginning and continuing students. I hope you'll join me. If you're unable to stand or you prefer to sit on your couch or on a chair, that's fine. You're welcome to just watch or try some of the arm movements or the leg movements. But most importantly, focus on your breath. And as we go into the class, I will guide you with the in-breath and the out-breath. Breathing in only through the nose and breathing out either through the nose or through the mouth. I recently looked up some information because there was a question in one of my classes about the muscle known as the gluteus medius. So I'm going to turn so you get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So you know what the gluteus maximus is, your tushy, your butt. That's the largest or biggest muscle on your body. Now along the side here, when you feel the muscle here, on top is the gluteus medius, and underneath is a smaller muscle known as the gluteus minimus. Now these muscles, when they're toned and healthy, support the pelvis, which of course supports the spine, your posture. When these muscles are not toned up, let's say all you do is sit all day, or maybe even you have one sport, you like to ride a bicycle and you ride for hours and hours, but you're only using the muscles in a particular direction, or you're not using them all, and you may even have some atrophy, muscle atrophy. And what I learned in researching this is that some of the pain you might get in your hip or in your lower back could be because those muscles are weak, and there are some very simple things to do to strengthen the muscles and tone them up. Now, what I found interesting for me in teaching yoga is that I was already doing some of these exercises or postures, the asanas, and so I'm going to show you a few today that you can try on your own. And they're not hard, they're not strenuous. But the first one I'm going to show you requires some balance. So for me, balancing on this surface is kind of hard. So I've gotten my mat and my towel over to the side, and I have a chair here because I found that students recommended this to me, that if you touch with only one finger, that's enough to bring you back your sense of balance. Sometimes I hold on. I mean, balancing gets harder as you get older, so it's really important to practice different balancing movements and postures. So I'm going to have this here because the one that I'm going to do for the gluteus medius will be for you to stand on one foot, and then you rotate this other foot. So you can even take your hand and rotate the leg forward. So you're pointing down with the big toe. Now, you might find that you're starting to bend over. So you want to stand up tall, press down through your standing foot, and leave a little looseness in your knee. So if I lift the foot up and I'm rotating and pointing the big toe down really hard, I am then exercising these muscles here. So you can see I'm reaching here to get some balance. So it's okay, it's not cheating. If you're able to do the pose, you would have both arms hanging in line with the shoulders, and your shoulders would be parallel to the floor. But the important thing that we're working on right now is toning the muscle here. So you could practice lifting the toe maybe a couple inches off the floor, and then release, and then try the other leg. I'm not even going to turn around. I have enough room. I'm going to rotate, first starting with the big toe pointing down, and then lifting the ankle. So my ankle bone's pointing up to the ceiling or looking up to the ceiling. And then release. And you begin to feel this. A little bit in the lower back is where I feel it. And right here through the hip hinge where the medius and minimus muscles are. So I'm shifting to this side and I'm lifting up. I want to get it a little bit higher, which requires more work. And you can see this front arm is hanging straight down from my shoulder. And then really rotate the leg and point the big toe down. So I am leaning on the chair. Let go, and then release, and then turn to the other foot and bring the leg up higher than you had it before. And you will feel this. And release, and you can use the heel of your palm to massage those muscles right into the gluteus, medius, and minimus, and that feels so good. We call this the bathing suit exercise because it also tones right here, the upper part of your thigh, and helps keep that nice and shapely, and the other side. So if you do several of those, that would be a lot. You could start pointing, lift up an inch, change to the other foot, lift up an inch, and then back, and hold as long as you can. I'm doing this quickly. But when you get up here, that's where you're really going to feel it, maybe 8 inches off the floor. So practice that. You might do it in your kitchen, or you can use the kitchen counter. But the more you can do it without holding on, okay, I'm doing the 1 finger balance, and release. And now I'm going to bend because I really feel it. Okay, we're going to come down to the floor, and you don't need a chair, but it would be nice if you have your mat and a big towel or a blanket with you. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back to Cherryblossom Yoga in just a moment. There is a road laid out for me, leading down to
boxes everywhere. And this is gonna be Addie's room.
I am blind, but I need not see.
I think you're really gonna like it.
I know this road is there for me. There is a love waiting for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Ways down by the river. I am blind, but I need not see. I know this love is there for me.
Nice and slow.
I got this.
Free. Take me down to the river.
Nice.
And wash me.
Okay. What do you think?
Welcome back to Cherryblossom Yoga. We're going to continue with some postures and stretches for the gluteus medius and the gluteus minimus. So, to begin with, I have folded up my blanket, so I'm seated on the fold and my hips are elevated. Now, if you do just this simple movement of turning the feet out and then firm the buttocks, you lift up and then release the tension slowly. And turn the toes out, firm the buttocks, and release. Now, I don't know whether you can see, but I'm actually lifting up through the strength and tension through my gluteus maximus muscles. And then turn outward and sit tall. So remember, when you breathe in, you allow your belly to expand. And when you breathe out, you pull your navel back toward your spine. So you're thinking about turning the legs out, firming the buttock muscles, and then tightening the bladder control muscles. So there's a lot of thinking that goes on here. And after you've done it a while, you won't need to think so much, but you're focusing on your body, more specific parts, and you're gaining a greater awareness. And then once again, as we did before, you might want to massage the muscles all around the hip joint. Now, you could leave the leg out. I'll do that. I always like to tuck my leg in. But I'm going to cross my left leg over my right, and then I'm going to come forward with my breastbone lifted, trying to bring my pelvis straight up and down, or even tilt it a little forward. Now I'm going to reach for my left leg and pull the knee in toward the breastbone. So as you allow yourself to settle into this pose, you are now stretching the different gluteus muscles. And you're breathing. And after you've taken a few breaths, you can even try to pull the leg in a bit closer. And the next thing I like to do is to, with the leg crossed, gently press right into the inside of the thigh, the inner thigh, because I get some stretching deep into the hip joint here. And you can even take a hold of the foot and turn it away from you. So now the bones are turning, the foot is turning away. You're looking more at the sole of your foot. And I'm just going to press. So no pressing on the knee. You're just pressing down like so. And now I'm really feeling it into the left hip area. It's not painful. I feel a stretch. And just one more time, I'm going to cross over, bringing the knee in toward the breastbone. I want to tilt the pelvis so it's straight up and down, which takes some work. And then slowly release and sit tall. I like to do Dandasana, the staff pose, in between certain poses, because once again, you're going to firm the buttock muscles. So you flex the feet, tighten the buttocks, and tighten the bladder control muscles. You want the shoulders right up above the hips, and then slowly release the tension. I don't know whether you can see how I rise up and then I go back down. Now, what you do in the actual posture, Dandasana, is slip your thumbs underneath your thigh, then flex the feet, then firm the buttock, then sit tall and breathe. This is an important pose I do every day, actually in bed, lying down, because it strengthens all the muscles around your pelvis, which helps support your spine. So we're going to move to the other leg. And again, draw the knee in. I have to turn my rib cage and then sit tall and use the strength of my arms to pull the knee in toward my breastbone. So to begin with, it's kind of tight, which is to be expected. And also, this side is a little tighter for me. My right leg is not as flexible. But all these poses we're doing for the gluteus muscles actually help increase your mobility, stabilize the pelvis, and help prevent injury and pain. So important to do for yourself. So I've got the ankle crossed over, the ankle bone just outside the flesh of the thigh, and I'm pressing on the inner thigh. I'm not bouncing, but a gentle press, and I'm rotating this foot away from me. So you're inhaling as you release and exhaling as you rotate the foot, press down the leg, sit tall. And back to arms wrapped around the knee with the knee centered, sitting tall, shoulders down, relaxed, scanning your body and breathing. Now, Baddha Konasana is a seated angle pose, which I do a lot, is actually very good for this area. So I have the soles of the feet together, raise the knees up, and I use my arms, my forearms, to press the knees or legs closer to the floor, to the mat, and come on up. And you also know this as the butterfly when you draw the heels in closer with your fingers loosely wrapped around the lower toes, quickly raising and lowering the knees like a butterfly. And I'd like to hold on just above the ankle bones and press the legs away. Baddha Konasana, seated angle pose. And legs out and rotate inward, and then turn the feet away. Try to sit up. People often collapse like this, so see if you can lift yourself up. Sometimes it helps to sit with your back to a wall, or if you're on your living room rug with your back to the couch. But here is that resting inward, turning out, firming the buttocks. And then this nice stretch, leaning over the leg. Now I can reach my foot. A lot of people can reach here. Some people can only go to here, but it doesn't matter. You want to turn the rib cage, look toward the foot, reach as far as you can, release the shoulders, away from the ears. And come to the other side. And then onto your side for something fun called the clam. So first of all, I'd like you to line up your body with the line of your mat and you can wrap your arm around your head or leave the arm out. We bring the knees together, the feet together. This is called the clam. and you lift the knee up, and then you close. So you might do 5, 8, 10 of these on each side. And then there's the inverted clam. So the knees stay together and you lift the upper leg, which is the lower leg part of the upper leg. So I would do it more slowly. And then letting your head hang down, walk your hands to the other side, line your body up with the line of your mat. Draw the knees in, balls of the feet together, and into the clam. So the more slowly you do this, especially coming out of the posture and resting. And the knees together. I came down a little too fast. And then either turn to your front again on your back or roll onto your back. And now that we're here, Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana, single seated angle pose becomes reclining angle pose. Soles of the feet together and your arms are parallel to each other as you press the knees down to the floor and release and relax the tension. Let the mat absorb the tension, and then pressing down and coming up. And once again, you could cross the leg over, draw the knee in toward your breastbone. It feels a lot different when you're lying down. Going to change legs. And reaching for the outside of your feet or for your ankles in Ananda Balasana. Happy baby pose. This is not particularly, especially for your hips. It just feels good right now. And release. Lower your feet to the floor. Extend your legs out. Place one hand on the navel, the other hand on top, and here you can do Dandasana on the floor, flexing the feet hard, firming the buttocks, tightening the bladder control muscles. And while you have all this tension from the waist down, you can still breathe. Your chest is open, you're free to breathe. And when you release, let the tension go slowly and release completely. Moving into a resting and meditative state. Let your eyes close and feel them sink into the sockets. Press your tongue against the roof of your mouth. And then let it soften and float. Allow the muscles encircling your ears and your eyes to smooth. Your scalp smooths. Make soft fists of your hands and then release. Move your fingers. Make soft fists of your feet. Move your toes around and release. Bring your feet to the mat. Press them into the floor, roll onto your side, and use your top hand to walk yourself back to a seated position. I hope you enjoyed today's class. I hope you can see and feel the benefits of toning the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus muscles. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're feeling wonderful and you can carry that feeling with you into your day, into your week, into your life. Namaste.